So,
Alright, lights out.
lights out. And no, they're not out yet. Lights out. Oh, and Keyboard Magazine gets a rocket start.
Oh my god, Gary is going straight into...
And Gary and yeah, Keyboard Magazine gets a rocket start. So Onion Barge and Luigi got caught napping that off the line, or they just bogged it down there. So I'm just gonna swear there.
Keyboard Warrior has gone into P1.
If you could pick that up. Oh, we've got the... Oh, Aaron!
Oh, and something else is going on at the ferry of
Yeah,
Aaron as well.
Benny and Aaron. So Wimpy is, yes, he's got a good drive on Aaron. Aaron moves to the inside line. Oh, he's a bit of a squeeze.
Oh,
and
he
knocks
turns in
up.
on Luigi, doesn't he?
I don't know, I think it was a bit of a lock-up there.
Yeah. Okay, so Onion is now using Luigi for battery. And Luigi's noticed, so Luigi's also not using another battery on the straights.
Yeah, a few races in I have actually been so close with a couple of guys that I just turned my battery to none or even low and just following the DRS, you know. Speaking of which, Aaron, we've lost Aaron.
Oh, yep, he's out.
DNF.
Guaranteed you frustration with that lap 1 incident.
Yeah, it could be. Probably got a front wing damage and completely destroyed his race or his strategy. Oh, Inferno runs a little bit too deep on the corner. Van Vliet's almost too close to Inferno, compromised his race out of the line. Oh, but the Keyboard Magazine is really mounting the charge on Costa. He's going to go for it. He's going for it. Oh, a little bit of lead banging.
Boy!
He turned in a little bit too early there.
That's a deserved
Did he
penalty.
kill? Yeah, he really should give the place back. Yeah, he's still fighting it though. He's still fighting it. Well, these guys are getting it a little bit really racy.
I mean, let's be honest, there's not much you can do.
No, he's not going to be able to hold off Costa.
And the kind of thing you have to wonder in that case is that Gary is right behind him, so... It's the thing he has to ask himself, is he just gonna let Costa go and try and tow himself away? Because he does have a penalty. So, if you look at the battery alone, Luigi is getting the tow.
Oh yeah.
He's getting the DRS.
Yeah, I'm just watching it. Keyboard Magazine's really... I got the tail end of it there, but it looked like he didn't give... Yeah. Oh, Luigi gets himself another. So that means they are equal on penalties, so... Well, it doesn't change anything, you know.
Not like that will change now.
Yeah, it's not going to change anything. But Costa might get himself a podium here. You know what? Silver actually is going to jump. Silver's going to jump Onion Barge. So Luigi crosses the line in P1. Onion Barge crosses it at the moment in P2. I think Silver's going to jump him. Is Silver going to jump P2? Yes, hello everyone. Welcome for another week of SLR EGL Racing, and today we are at Singapore, and joining me is the wonderful voice of Mr. Bilosh Kirst. Hello, Bilosh.
Hello there.
Normally at this point we would like to be in at the qualifying, but a little bit of a delay, but they're counting down now and we should be hitting the track. Singapore, what do you think of Singapore, Milosh?
Yeah, I used to hate it when I first started driving. I did. It's very shocking. However, once you get into the middle of the track, it's honestly great. It's a really fun track to drive if you find that kind of rhythm in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be no surprise to anybody that knows me that how much I love Singapore. It's the single most raining in Singapore.
It is moisturized in Singapore.
Yeah, just to finish what I was going to say, it is my single most favorite track. Not getting any sound, so I need to alt and tab out quickly to just make sure I'm back in it. There we are. Yeah, so just get the details up. See, Thimo, Mr. Thimo, if you're watching, is he watching? No, he's not racing today again. Mr. Thimo, if you're watching, take note. First thing you do at the stream: lap data, telemetry, and the tires is fitted. But yeah, Singapore is my absolute favorite track. Whoa, the volume is a bit metal. Forgive me. be a bit more bearable for people. Yeah, so as I was saying, Singapore is my absolute favourite track. I love this track with an absolute passion. The only other track I would love, not quite as much as Singapore, would be Baku and then Monaco. Yes, I am a freak of nature. I love those street circuits. I love how tight the walls are up against you. Impending doom with like the slightest mistake. I just love it, Milosh. They're just my kind of tracks.
Yeah. I mean, they're not Belosh tracks. They're too hard to be Belosh tracks. What the issue is, you know.
I mean, my
Just
great...
the lack of talent, not very
Sorry?
convenient. The lack of my talent doesn't help.
You have,
the
made
driving track.
you have made remarkable progress since season 1 when it was like DNF after like 3 laps. Now you're competing big time with some amazing times. But just before we go on the first hot laps, the reserves today is, let me think, Costa. So we got Costa, Motocrosser, Furious, and Mr. Hugo sitting there in P6 currently in the McLaren. But we're on board with Vinny, so we're just waiting for him to make his way around, gingerly around this track, this wet, well, as you said, moist Singapore. And we'll run on board with a hot lap with him. Again, I don't know the corner names, so I'm just going to say this left-hander and this right-hander.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do not know the corner names either. I'm not even sure about the numbers, honestly.
Yeah, me too. Because so what? Some corners to me that seems like a clear corner is not a corner apparently, or it's not even numbered.
Sure.
And then some that are just a bend happen to be like 2 numbers. I don't know how it works, but I don't know.
I think there are approximately 18 corners on this track.
Yes, well, if it is a wet race, Milosh, we are in for a long evening because Singapore is one of the longest tracks. But yeah, we're just running on board with Vinny here in the Haas as he's coming down, gingerly brakes her down into 3rd gear, guiding it around. Very easy to spin here. I know whenever I first switched my traction control off all those years ago, not quite, but that second corner there killed me every time. So I can't do these hot laps like Mr. Triton does, but anyway, you just want to avoid this wall, of course. And here, this is of course one of the major overtaking points. This one, whatever it's called. This is terrible. And I remember in season 3, just here I had a really hurry moment with, I think an esports legend now, was this Mr. Forgive me, I'm going to murder this name, Sinistaya? What do you call him? People in the know will know who I'm talking about, Sinistaya. I think he's from Finland anyway. Yeah, I had a fantastic race with him in this one. And then he just here. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. I really don't know what I'm saying. I don't really know any of these corners.
Funny left-hander.
This awkward left-hander, yeah.
Nah, I reckon it's gonna throw off some people, and I doubt a lot of people did wet practice for Singapore.
Well,
since you don't really get rain too often in Singapore.
You know what? You're bang on there, Milosh, because I generally don't do much wet running the best of times. Hence why you see me just hitting the big DNF whenever I see mildly wet. But Singapore, that's a good call, a good shout. I don't think anybody would really do wet practice in Singapore yet. Surprisingly, it is one of those tracks, even in the real track, of high risk of a wet race. Given the nature of where the geographical location of the country. But then he sets the benchmark, 1 minute 53.2. No one else is veering out of the pits. And if what Mr. Chief says in chat is correct, heavy rain arriving in 5 minutes time, I am surprised, Milos, that we are not seeing everyone just bursting out of the pits to try and get a lap down on these intermediates. Because if it's going to be heavy rain, then it'll be full wets. So you want to get out there. Well,
it's not going to be very convenient. So the wets are obviously going to be much slower than the intermediates. So you really want to get out as soon as possible, if that is the case. And we had some yellow flags in Sector 2 a while ago, and it was Mr. Bugos in the wall.
Oh, yeah, so Mr. Bugos is coming into the pits to undoubtedly fix that front wing. And he needs to get a move on because, like I said, this heavy rain is impending. See who we're going to run on board with. Mr. Van Beets is on an out lap.
I mean, Contender set a lap a while ago, and he's showing his dominance at the moment with 6/10 advantage to Onion Bar Junior P2.
Yeah, but Onion Bar is showing that, you know, he's not only quick in the wet or the dry, but pretty handy in the wet as well. But with no iron,
Oh yeah.
notice no iron as well. It's such a shame we don't get to see him more often because he would be a main contender. But so Chief is giving Chief is asking Kitsune in the live chat to draw a track guide by hand and make up the corner names for me because I'm absolutely murdering the track guide.
You ever watched the Grill the Grid videos where they get a drawing of a track by a 7-year-old, then they have to guess what track it is?
Oh, I think I did see that. There was one recently with Vettel and Leclerc.
Yeah.
And someone drew it was Australia, and Vettel got it right away. But I thought it was kind of cheating with a big, massive kangaroo at the top of it.
Yeah.
Like, at a guess, Australia.
I mean, Shores was gonna say Singapore, but yeah, that was an interesting guess.
Of course, Singapore kangaroos are native to Singapore. That is a fact.
Commonly known by everyone.
Yes, except. We get yellows in sector 1. I'm just going to scroll down here. Oh, it's Maltino. Maltino trying to correct his car. So yeah, actually, I was kind of saying it there just kind of tongue-in-cheek about that second corner at Singapore. Why it was really difficult, you know, getting the traction down on it. It's so easy to spin, but lo and behold, Mr. Smeltino has indeed spun there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some others spin there as well. What's everyone saying in this chat? Gary, Frank, Tinky Winky. Too wide into Tinky. Right, okay, that's enough of the live chat for the moment. Yes, I'll take this moment while they're all kind of following each other around just to thank. We've only started the stream, but I want to thank Milos just completely randomly jumping on board with me here because I thought it was going to be a lone ship today because Mr. Bance has gone AWOL. He's done a Thimo and just disappeared. So thank you very much, Mr. Milos. So just give me someone to talk to more than anything, really. Because people don't
It's my
talk to me.
pleasure.
People don't talk to me in the live chat.
Does your wife talk to you? Is the good question.
She's not even in the same room.
Nah.
Although to be fair, I kicked her out. Yeah, Kitty saying
Very
back
happy
field.
marriage.
Absolutely. 4 years married on this month, actually. I think it's 4 years anyway.
Happy anniversary in advance, though.
They say, well, thank you very much. They say that the first 7 years are the hardest, and after that it's pure hell. Terrible joke. You don't have to laugh.
Nah, I'm just gonna laugh away because I get to live the life of a free young boy. For now.
For now. Oh, you'll get snapped up, Milos, don't you worry. We're going to running over here with Mr. Furious. We're getting yellow flags all over the place, left, right, and centre, and I can't keep flicking through them because it'll be pretty bad for the stream, as you can see. This here,
It's Keyboard Magnussen.
Mr. Keyboard, understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, he's back on track now, but it will spin into, let's say, about turn 7. They're about.
Turn 7, that'll do. Yeah, turn 7. We got another yellow. What's that? Turn 44.
Possibly.
No, there's only one guy out in track for me. I can't switch them. Hang on.
Try go the other way. Are you on
Yeah.
Larson? Yeah,
There we
do the
go.
same thing.
The Onion Bar is just taking the top spot off Contender, but Contender is on his outlap, so going on board with him. Keep an eye on his delta. Oh, a little bit clip off the wall there. I don't know whether that was a spectator bug, but definite clip off the wall. Oh, yes, it's a good job Chief wrote that in capitals, otherwise I wouldn't have noticed. Chief just says, the race is dry. Repeat, race is dry. Mother whatever.
Schmuck?
Can we say that? I think we can. It's not really a bad word in Europe. Schmuck. Schmuckers.
It's Batman's favorite word after all.
Contender coming around.
Mr. Bugas has bowed it, and he's taking the escape road.
Chief says it is allowed, but I'm not allowed to say hell. Okay. So, anyway, Contender kicking at us off. Here he goes. He's on his out lap, and I'm watching the delta. If everyone else can see that on the stream, top right hand corner. Again, I don't need to inform this well-informed viewing viewers, but anyone that isn't aware, if it's green, he's gone faster than his previous. If it's purple, he set the fastest first sector than anyone, and if it's yellow, he's sucking, basically. And it's sounding really slow for me, so I don't know what's going on here. Plus, oh yeah, it is really slow. He's 1.5 seconds slower, so we'll switch to Costa. Or who will we switch to? Yeah, we'll switch to Costa, see how he's getting on in his out lap. In the beautiful yellow Renault.
Luigi's starting a lap right now as well.
Oh, Luigi. Well, run on board with Luigi because he is a very fast boy. And il parle français. We've got a yellow in Sector 1, then that's not going to help Luigi because he's just about starting his Sector 1. So, Chief's asking me, can you relay this message to Bob? What? Was I not allowed to say hell? Alright, I'll stop saying hell then. Sector 3, we've got yellow, Sector 1, 2, and 3, but anyway, Sector 1 is coming to an end for Mr. Luigi. Has he improved? No, he's also down. So, what Mr. Chief is saying in chat must be the truth. It's the truth. It's getting heavier. These guys are not improving, so you know, I really don't see much point in anybody putting on the wets because I mean they're not really going to go much faster.
Most likely not.
So,
unless Sir Hugo's doing a 2 minute 15, but
yeah, what's going on there, Milos? Hugo's the current 2 SRL champion.
Yeah, I was watching him a few times, and the first time I seen him was in the wall, and second was in the escape route. So he's not having a very good time in the moist conditions.
I'm actually only learning out what's happening on Discord, or not Discord, on the leagues in the live chat because I'm so busy with just real world things. But Chief says that Mr. Luigi, who have you seen in the highlights reel? Oh, we got who's this in the wall? Larson in the wall. We just got that on the stream. You're all on board with Mr. Let's see who's coming out of the pits just behind a Renault and or a McLaren, and that will not be the first time he has been behind the rear end of a McLaren. Reference to Mr. Thimo. Yeah. So as everyone's seen on the highlights reel of Italy, Luigi took the race win. But as Chief says in the chat, Luigi has actually lost his race win due to the final lap incident with Onion. Now, I think that was something I did call on the stream, that, you know, potentially he may lose that. I don't know, I mean, 1 minute I thought it was one thing, the next minute I thought it was another. Ultimately, it's not my job to decide these things, and I'm glad I don't, because I don't really want to be in charge of that, you know, deciding the fate of the race. That's why I leave it to those emotionally heartless and devoid people like Mr. Chief and all those guys. They just have no heart and they just no empathy whatsoever, Milos. They'll just fling the penalties left, right and centre. They just don't care. I will clarify, they are very professional and they take every report with serious concern and impartiality and non-biased.
Please do not fire us.
Yeah, I was really struggling to speak there in English. Luigi is out to prove a point today, Mr. Chief says. He got 10 points in 5 seconds.
Yikes. Okay. See, at least I've got a good excuse for not being able to speak English.
Well, why is that?
I'm not from the country. Technically, I'm not supposed to speak
you
in
finish?
proper.
Can you finish that word before we get complaints?
Oh, I'm not. I am foreign. Yes.
No. You said you're not from the
From the country of Ireland.
Ah, yeah. You stopped mid-sentence there. I thought you were saying something bad, but of course you're not allowed to say bad words on the stream.
Of course not. This is a very Christian stream and Protestant for those who wish.
Of course, and Protestants are welcome as well. Yes.
Indeed.
All forms of life are welcome on this stream. But I think steer away from the old religion. But yeah, just because you're Irish, as am I, although many people may dispute that, doesn't mean that you can't speak good English. In fact, you are a multilingual young man, of which I am jealous.
Well, I can only really speak English and Polish fluently, and I can speak maybe 10 words in French, but hey, that's convenient at times.
And Irish?
Oh yeah, that's maybe 12 words.
Sé bhar Thailand the grass and Thailand China lad.
Sha.
It's funny who Ijimara August Atani is one of Anissa. And anyone that speaks fluent Irish will know
Yes.
I'm absolutely murdering it. So
Possibly.
I think Mr. Pixel speaks fluent, doesn't he?
Does it? I don't
know.
know.
I tell you who does. Edwards.
Edwards, you reckon?
You know that madman?
You reckon?
You often find him in the 2 SLR Discord. I'm pretty sure he speaks. Well, maybe not fluent, but definitely he's pretty good at it.
I mean, I'm doing ordinary Irish, if I'm being honest. I'm just in the small brain class.
Oh, Milosh, it says in the chat here that you have been promoted to Chief Schmuck.
Ah. I'm pretty glad, because that's Batman's favorite word, and I'm proud to be the right hand of our Lord and Savior Batman. Personally, anyway.
This heavy rain hasn't come to fruition yet, Milosh, so these guys are still out in the intermediate, so...
Yeah. I mean, Costa is only attended down in Sector 2, so it might improve. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's heavy enough to really make the intermediates slow.
Yeah, so Luigi's backed out. He's pretty much thought he's given as much as he can give. P3. Onion Barge, though, is set out to secure this pole position. I can tell you Contender is up on his time. But he has improved. At the moment, he hasn't improved enough to steal pole from Onion Barge. But there is the rest of Sector 2 and Sector 1 to go, so let's see how he gets on. And I don't think anyone else is on a fast enough time. Motocrosser retires as well. Sector 1 and Sector 2. You can see all these... Oh, he is. He's 2/10. So what's that? He is up. Contender is up on Onion Barge. So if he can keep this time, this lap together, he's going to just sneak. At the moment, he's just going to sneak pole position off Mr. Barge. So just this tricky chicane to come. And possibly the easiest corner to cut is this final corner onto the straight line. Wants to get a good drive out of this. He keeps her in fifth to get good traction off the line, and he crosses the line. And does he get the pole? He does. Gets the pole. 1 minute 52.178. So it's 179 on the telemetry. So there is our pole position leader, Mr. Contender, and then followed by Onion Barge and Luigi Furious, doing a good representation up for himself as this reserve. He's hasn't improved at all on this time, but he's just gonna make his way on round. I think there's something, isn't there some kind of rule, Milosh, they don't want you retiring on track in qualifying. You have to drive into the garage.
Yes, yeah. We want to avoid... We had a few incidents even in Tier 1 at the start of the season in Australia. It was Mr. Bugos that got royally executed on his qualifying lap. So yeah, we try to avoid retiring on the track and qualifying.
Yep, so that is why you see Mr. Furious driving around on track instead of just giving up. So there is your grid, people, and quite a gap from Luigi to second place. Almost half a second off the P1 spot. You can see that the times are just not quite as competitive when it comes to the rain. There are just some people that are just really adept in the wet conditions. And then there are others who are not. Of course, I think it's important to point out, and I'm always pointing this kind of thing out when it needs pointing out, that in Tier 2 people are free to use whatever they want. So on a wet conditions, it benefits people who, I suppose, use the traction control and the ABS. So there are people who use that on tier 2, whereas there are others who do not use any. And so that will potentially play an impact on the overall pace on a wet track. I believe, anyway. What do I know? But that's my opinion. And I'm going to give
Technically,
it.
it should.
Alright?
I mean, technically, it should indeed. But I did do some running for the memes with the boys at Silverstone Short in F2 cars, try to get the fastest lap.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it for maybe about an hour until Mr. Hugos yoinked it away from me, so I was very sad. But from what I've come to, at least in F2 cars, the assists seem to be slower in the wet.
Is that right?
Yeah, but the difference is there's no brake pressure setting in those cars, so that might be an effect to it.
Yeah, the Formula 2 cars they're great fun. Anytime I've done it, I've said many times on the streams that just how fun they are. But I don't know. The gaming, the racing is not fun enough for me, I have to say, for me to grind it like I used to. And even when I did grind it, it was still rubbish anyway. So what difference does it make? So I just enjoy just sitting here and watching and commentating on everyone else racing, and hopefully pick fun on people. Mostly Chief. Just check the chat while the boys are going around on their formation lap. We're joined by Elementrix. The girls are joining the chat. What's this kitty saying? Oh, what's happening on here? So Chief says he's fluent in gibberish, or gibberish, depending on your preference. And I can concur with that after spending many tracking and karting sessions with Mr. Chief. I mean, the man could make a what do you call someone suffering from insomnia. There we go. Somebody suffering from insomnia. He can make them fall.
Insomnia.
Yeah, insomnia. You know what, Milos? It's just I can't. I didn't get much sleep last night because Kitty had me up very late watching The Circle. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but it's I don't really watch much TV, okay, because I think modern TV is rubbish. And I especially don't watch reality TV either. As my father would say, you have to have a small brain to watch reality TV. But The Circle is a reality TV program and it's brilliant. So she had me sitting up to midnight watching that. And I get up at 6 a.m. every morning.
Disappointing behavior from Mr. Kitsune.
So I'm a little bit fatigued mentally. So if you see me kind of trying to build the excitement of something and then just kind of just sighing and then just going quiet, it's because my brain has just stopped. But here we go. Is that like the soggy biscuit tipsy? Hey? I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, no, I wouldn't mind a cup of tea and a soggy biscuit. Here we are. We have got a dry track. You can. Oh! I almost committed the cardinal sin of doing a Thimo and not getting the tires on. There we are. People on mediums, people on hards, people are going to go run for their one stop. They're going to go for the. Well, everyone's going to be on a one stop. Doing their long runs. Lights are out, but the cars are sitting. And they're away. And off they go. Contender leads the pack away. Can we get a good angle? Contender gets a remarkable start off the line. That would be the traction control coming into assistance. But Luigi at the back there is fighting for an onion barge with his P2. And there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on back. A few positions, people switching positions. Oh, and the Renault is off Costa, also diving in on the Toro Rosso off Furious. But meanwhile, Contender and Onion Barge have held on to their first and second spots. We've got a bit of moving about in the background there by the I don't know who it was, so I'm not even going to say. But Onion Barge is holding off here the car off Luigi, and then Acosta as well. Acosta has shown in his races he's also very fast. He's also a very clever racer as well, so he'll be playing this smart. Luigi and Onion Barge have a little bit of history, as we said already. A little bit of history has developed with these guys. Maybe not much, but one race is all it takes to cause a little bit of history, potential tension. As we heard earlier, that the race win off Luigi was taken away from him because it was deemed unfair. A pass that was done where there was a collision between Onion Barge and Luigi near the end of the race, which forced well, Onion Bars loses race, win position, and give it to Luigi. So, yeah, Luigi's got a point to prove here. He wants to show that no, he can not only. That may have been a mistake in his mind. It was deemed otherwise in the FIA, but may have been a mistake in his mind. But he's out to show that no, he can win on just raw pace and raw talent. So this will be a battle to watch. Keep keenly. Whenever the DRS will be applied, I'll switch on to them. But further back, we've got Vinny trying to get a move on Smeltino, I think that was. What's going on here? Bob the Legend. I am no legend. Just a run-of-the-mill Irishman. What we got here? So Matthias is... Oh, wait a minute. These deltas are not right.
Not at all.
There's not... No, not at all. There. Not at all. These... Not these... what do you call it? These deltas are not right because it was shown there for me that Matthias is 1/10 or 100 or 1/10... What? Breathe. What is it again? What is it? 2/10? My mind's gone. 2/10. 1/10.
1/10.
Yes, he was 1/10 of a second away from Furious when he clearly on track he was not. But Verk is just as moved it away there from Matthias, clipped the wall. Are you seeing something, Milos?
Yes, I think Smaltino gave Matthias a little touch on the rear, and which sent him towards the wall a little bit. I don't think he has much damage from it. His wing looks fine, so looks like he might have gotten away with it, but definitely lost some time.
Last week out when we did the racing stream with Mr. Bance, I was aware that I ran quite a lot of the stream on board with these two guys, Onion and Luigi. Now, of course, there's no shame in that. Two quality drivers, and they were fighting all the way. However, I don't want just the Williams and the Renault to hog all of the action, so I'm going to be trying to run down. Oh, we've got Bugos, Mr. Bugos, harassing the Haas of Vinny. Vinny, of course, no slow man himself. He is a man with a lot of pace, a lot of aggression, a little bit of a... Are you alright there, Milos?
Oh yeah, I was sneezing in the distance.
That was a very discreet sneeze.
Indeed.
When I sneeze, I just let it all out. It's just a big...
Yeah, I was too lazy to press my mute button, so I just took off my headset and
don't mute it, man. I want to hear all the bodily fluids.
Was like your kinky turn on?
Well, hang on a minute. I need to be aware of the significant age gap between us here, so I don't want no reports here, okay? So
just in case. Just in case.
Oh, Hugos is absolutely terrorizing the back of that Haas. He wants past, but somebody also terrorizing the rear end is Gary on Mr. Keyboard Magnussen, and there's quite a train forming in front of him. Yellows in Sector 2. Just looking down the deltas here. That's why I love Singapore, because everyone's so tightly packed. Everyone wants to get it past them, but they can't because it's too risky, and there's one mistake and they're in the wall and the race is over, or they wreck somebody else's race. Safety cars are almost a guaranteed, well, not quite a guarantee in this game, but in real life they're a given. So just more Singapore. Here we go. Hugo's is going for the move on Vinny. Vinny's going to defend the inside line. Oh, Hugh forces Hugo off the track, but I don't think he didn't get any suggestions of a penalty, but he may well have got a warning. Vinny, of course, not going to give this up, but Vinny will now have the DRS to get the move done. So Mr. Bugos not using his big brain there, although Mr. Bugos is defending well against Vinny, and Vinny's going to have to give that move up. So well done, Bugos. He gave the DRS advantage to Vinny, but had enough in the tank and was able to defend the position. Burke, meanwhile, on the back of this train of Vinny, Silver Motocrosser. What's going on in the chat? Oh, it's Burke or Silver. I just looked. Why is it whenever I look down away at the chat, at what's happening in the chat, something happens? I missed that, but it was on the stream, so everyone else got to see it.
seen Mr. Vinny do a Beyblade let's play. That's about it. But
A Beyblade?
Beyblade.
Oh,
Oh, that's someone
motocrosser!
gone. Yep.
Motocrosser messed it up. I don't know whether he locked it up or what, but I got that on the stream. That happened actually to me in the EGL. Oh, Nethluke gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That happened to me in the EGL tournament, which I was absolutely loving. I was in my element in Singapore, holding off some mega drivers. And then there was this mental Renault, which shall remain nameless, absolutely murdered me, and my goodness, it's a good job I wasn't live streaming then. The profanity out of my mouth would tell you. Anyone wants to check that out? Yes, anyone wants to check that out? I think that was season 4? Was it season 4? I think it was the first time we did no assists.
Yeah, I think 4 seems about right.
But Bugos is now on the back of Smeltino. Smeltino's going for a move on Matthias. So Hugo's just gonna sit back and then he gets a little bit of a tank slapper there on this. Oh, you don't want to run too close to the battles in Singapore, because if the two guys up ahead do something silly like Smeltino, almost done there, and runs a little wide, hits the wall and collects the car behind you. But he's going to collect you as well, and Matthias is not giving this up. Matthias is wanted, but yeah, he's moves done. Hugos has got the position, so Mr. Bugos is marching up the order here, and he has a Toro Rosso in his sights. And normally you don't get DRS there, no, there you do. Further up ahead, this battle between the two Renaults and Onion Barge and Contender, look at this, these guys are not getting away. I think I seen Jensen saying one time, that absolute legend himself, saying something about tracks like Singapore. If everyone's on kind of roughly equal pace, kind of around about something like that, then tracks like Singapore, they just get stuck to each other, because the DRS sucks each other along. So all they do is they're kind of like this floating cloud, just carrying each other further and further away from the pack. I think I may be correct. If Mr. Jensen is listening, can you confirm that? Or even Terror or anybody else, confirm that, because
yeah, it does happen. It's very hard to overtake around here, and yeah, it's very narrow, and if you make a mistake here in the wall, so overtaking is not the most convenient at Singapore.
Mr. Pretorius is displaying his EGL knowledge by finishing something I started, but there you are. He is the man with the big intellect and the big history mind. He knows what is happening. He knows the crack, as we would say. Luigi just got himself a 3-second time penalty, which is going to be very significant in the Singapore race. And I don't know is there frustration, is there anger, or is there craftiness behind what's going on here? Or is it just sheer Singapore? You just can't get past? Because Onion Barge is in DRS zone of Contender. He's actually catching him.
Yeah, I think the gap was 2 seconds at one point. It's now gone down to 0.8 of a second. Yes,
yeah.
There's a nice train from P1 to P4 for that top step of the podium position. But
one thing, Wimpy gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Oh, Wimps! You don't need to push yourself, Wimpy. Timo's not here. And you know what? I think some of Wimpy's best races is when Timo's racing, because it's like it kind of fires Wimpy up, like, okay, Timo's here, I'm gonna have to beat Thimo, and you get some fantastic results from Wimpy. But he's not doing too badly at the moment on the hards. Lap or P12, 2 points, 2 positions away. In fact, you can actually see the points position up ahead. Chief would be sitting in that Ferrari, and his mouth would be drooling. He can see the 1 point position, and he would be going for it, because Chief loves 1 points. He doesn't like anything higher than a point. He doesn't want
just
it.
one.
Just the 1 point. He's a humble, honest man. 1 point, and that does him just fine.
It's just the right amount, not too much, not too little.
Exactly. Not too much.
Perfection.
More than you need is greed. Wise thoughts on the EGL channel. Mr. Chief, he's wiser than us all, because he was here during the dawn of time. He knows 1 point, all you need. Oh yes, correction. He does correct me in the chat. Forgive me. He's actually a P9 man now. He's moving up in the world, Milosh.
No, he's gone to.
He's gonna get started.
He's becoming too capitalist now. He's getting more greedy.
Yeah, he's moving up in the world. He's gonna start getting all snobby and getting arrogant and thinking he's a bit uppity, a bit above himself. I'm a P9 man now. So, the only thing I can say to Mr. Chief is you haven't got pole position yet. The Chief says he's older than his dad.
Well, I thought Chief's dad was God himself.
It's like that joke in Wimpy getting another corner cut there. Getting himself another 3-second time penalty. Who we're going to run on board with? We're going to run back on board with Bugos, will we? No, he's not closing the gap quite yet on Costa. Now, have you any idea how long you can run on the mediums in Singapore?
Ooh, I would guess around between 12 and 16 laps. My educated guess, straight from Oxford.
You're hanging around with Mr. Terror Incognita a bit too much.
Perhaps. That's how I get my big brain analysis from the man himself.
Yeah, you're getting all Oxfordian on me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would imagine that it'll probably last 12 laps, something like that. I haven't done race trim myself, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I can only assume that that's how long the mediums will last.
Well, we have some EGL royalty in chat now. We have Mr. Bailey. Bailey Thompson. What a class! That's a class name, Bailey Thompson. And now, welcome to the stage, Bailey Thompson. It's just a class name. Anyway, maybe Mr. Bailey, you can tell us, or Master Bailey. More like Master Bailey because he's under 18. So maybe you can tell us. Do you have any inside knowledge? Can you confirm what Mr. Bilosh has said? 12 laps, mediums, Singapore? Yes or no? Probably not even listening to me. Probably can't even understand me.
Probably thinking, who is this crazy man on the stream?
Who is this man talking to me?
Honestly.
I mean, Kitty says that to me half the time. Who is this weird man waking him up in my bed? Anyway, getting off topic. Wouldn't be like me to go off topic. Look at this, onion barge. Right on the back gearbox, off contender. That was another thing I was going to mention about the assists. Is it true? Okay. I'm asking the knowledgeable Mr. Milosh and of course the knowledgeable chat. I was mentioning the assists and how you can have an advantage in the wet races and stuff, and even certain tracks like Baku, maybe even Singapore. What is it if you have the ABS on? Stick it up to 100%, something like that. But is it true that ABS and maybe traction control increases your tire wear?
Allegedly, I've heard myths about it, but I'm not knowledgeable enough to actually know if that's true. I've heard from the man himself, Terror Limitless, that TC is not very good in this game either.
Oh.
But it is Limitless. He does use a pad on the odd occasions, which I do not respect. I think, he's just lacking the superiority of the wheel. But hey, I'll allow it.
Although in saying that, Mr. Milosh, I'm going to run on board with somebody else here because I don't want to get complaints. They'll be getting letters. Why do you always run on board with the same people all the time? Blah, blah, blah.
Shaking.
It's not Watchdog or what does he call that program? Used to be on by Terry Wogan. Would you remember Terry Wogan?
I think I'm too young, Mr. Bob.
Terry Wogan. Yeah, an Irishman who just left us and claimed he was English.
Just departed.
Why was I talking about Terry Wogan?
Good question.
I mean, seriously, why did I even mention him?
No, I actually don't remember myself.
Because you weren't listening, that's why.
I was only... Okay. I might have not been listening.
Yeah, you see, I was actually watching a TED talk before I did this. And I was talking about people who just hear blah, 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 blah. They are indifferent to you, so I must be indifferent to you, Mr. Milosh. You don't care.
I suppose.
See? Yeah, I'm not getting my love.
I'm just incredibly superior, I suppose.
Oh yes, Kitty's reminding me because I said it's not Watchdog. Yes. Well done. Thank you very much, Kitty. Because I'm always running on board with the same people. Yes. So I'm going to run on board with... Well, do you know what? I'm actually going to stay here with Contender, or with Luigi, because he's, as I say often, but nothing ever happens, right on the gearbox off the Contender. Yeah, I started some rants. It says, no, it didn't. What was I going to say? Oh, it's terrible getting old. What was I going to say? Oh, yes! Remember now. Woo, my wee brain still got it. You were talking about the pad, Milosh.
I was.
And you were saying about Mr. Limitless not having the talent or something like that. Oh, no, he wasn't. What was it? The superiority off the wheel. That was it. Luigi gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Yeah. You're saying that, but I remember a comment you made. Oh, Contender's really squeezing Luigi up against the wall. Well, not quite squeezing him, but making it difficult. Contender fought that really hard. Luigi got it sideways, trying to claim that inside line. Contender defends that well. I would say that's firm but fair. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair racing. It's the kind of thing I would do. Squeeze them right up to the wall and give them just about enough room and no more. Yeah, I see. This is my problem. I start sentences and then I forget what I'm saying and I move on and I try to go back to them. Listen, I need to breathe. I'm speaking way too fast. Okay.
Deep breaths.
I remember on an EGL, which one was it? I don't remember. A tournament.
Yellow flags, and that's Larson. He's gone.
Have we lost Mr. Larson?
Yeah, he's got half of his left side of his wing gone.
Oh, so it is. Yeah, you can just see there the front left wheel, viewers. The end plate as well. Yeah, the end plate's going, and he's still very desperate to get past him now. He's gonna being stuck behind a car who has got a front wing damage on Singapore. Oh, a little bit of nudge from Silver is an absolute nightmare. And Larson not actually giving it up, so he's gonna make it more difficult. He's actually fighting this. So, I mean, oh, and then Silver gets a nudge in the back by Gary. No, it's not Gary. Who was that? Who was that? Silver got a nudge. Oh, it was Costa. Must have been Costa that nudged him. Yeah, and then Larson finally gets out of the way. Well done. Good job.
Now Quinterno's coming out the pits, and I think he might say out of Onion Bargy. He will. Oh, but he completely cuts.
Yeah, seen that, yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if that's a warning or a penalty in the races.
Well, we didn't get anything flagged up there, so I haven't seen any penalties yet for Contender or Onion. Luigi definitely has, so he's taken himself out of the contention for the race win. He's got at least 6 seconds. Yeah.
Look, Contender has 3 warnings. I'm assuming that at least one of them is a contact warning, as doesn't have any penalty.
Here. Go Magnuson.
That's a little flexing, right?
Sorry,
doesn't look like my bet on lap 12 was too far off, I suppose.
Yeah, Billy was saying in chat, usually you can get there around lap 15 or 16 on the hards, but maybe a little earlier. So, I mean, you're in the right kind of window. As Inferno Coy retires. Oh, Vinny having a little look there on the keyboard Magnuson. Let me see what's happening in the chat. Take your pills, Bob. The hiccups are inbound. I don't think so, Mr. Chief, because I'm drinking a glass of milk. And less TV pod. Oh! Right. Right you are there, Ted. There we go. We're gonna get the broadcast camera and we're getting moves here up at the pits. Well, that's nothing new there. The only problem is the TV pod is a really handy camera when you're going to see someone maybe launching setting up a move where you can really gauge the distance on a driver like that. See? But quickly, don't want to get copyright claim.
See, that's why all the tier 2 streams are getting copyright claims, because Mr. Bob running in T-cam all the time.
Yes, it's my fault, people. I apologize. I am sorry. I just like being right on the board with the action.
Shaking my head.
There you are. If you ever try to watch a video and you can't see it because it's been copyrighted for whatever silly reason, you can blame me. It's my fault. Sorry. I sincerely apologize. Kitty saying, "Don't tell him how to do his job." See that? See me, lost. That's why.
I'm getting abused by my own mother.
That's why
So disappointed.
you get a wife, because she just fights your corner.
Mm,
Even when I'm wrong, she fights your corner anyway.
suppose.
Not getting really much action since everyone's come out of the pits, but we should surely see something happening as the laps wind down. But I think the battle here is Vinny on keyboard. Onion barge, 3-second time penalty. So that is going to play a major factor in this race, because from my knowledge, Milosh, Contender doesn't have any penalties at all. Luigi has 6. So Luigi 6, Onion 3, Contender 0. It's looking tidy for him.
Yeah, it is, especially in Singapore where it's hard to overtake. So even if they got past him, well, yeah, they would be hard for them to get past him and get the 3 seconds gap anyway. But yeah, it's not going to be very easy for Onion Bargy or Luigi. So I am going to make a bold prediction that Mr. Contender is going to win this race, Onion Bargy P2 and Mr. Luigi in P3. I'm going to make even a more bold prediction, and Wimpy is going to finish P8 this race.
Ooh. Your
Very
first 3 predictions are calculatable, I would say, and potentially predictable. But your Wimpy one is a good shout, because anything can happen in that mid pack.
Indeed.
So I will give you the choice of driver of the day if Wimpy comes P8. And solely you. Oh no!
Oh.
Then he just nudged the back end of Keyboard Magazine and sent Keyboard Magazine into the wall. It was just a little nudge. It was enough to put him off the track and stole that position. So, ay.
See, I actually hired them so that Wimpy can finish higher up.
So we got that on the stream. So I'm sure someone will be looking at that one. Someone from the FA will have a little bit of a gander at that one. Of course, Contender is the contender, as Mr. Chief says. Mr. Chief. He says he's a strong contender for the race win.
Laughing but mainly crying at the cringe.
I mean, Mr. Chief, you just leave the crap jokes to me, okay? My entire vocabulary. Who's that motocrosser getting sideways? My entire vocabulary is based on just crap jokes. You know? The most uninteresting person in the world who says crap jokes to just try to grasp and even a modicum of interest. You know what I realised, Milos, in that last sentence? I talk an incredible amount of you know what?
Indeed, I do. Yeah, occasionally.
He says I can barely speak today. Wait, did I say crap on the stream?
Perhaps.
Are you not allowed to say crap?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
Who says it, I suppose.
So I'm not allowed to say hell. I'm not allowed to say crap. I'm allowed to say schmuck.
I can replace every word with schmuck then.
What do you call it? Bailey Thompson is asking. Yeah, Kitty says right. At least it didn't say. Who do you think will win? Well, we have already covered that, Mr. Bailey. Well, actually, Mr. Bilosh has covered it.
Wow.
of which Silver has disconnected. Silver has left the server. I think that's just a clear disconnection.
Yeah, there might be a game crash, which happens a lot to Mr. Silver, which is unfortunate. But I suppose these things may happen.
Okay, I'm being informed by my employers that crap and hell are not allowed to be said on the stream. Okay, so I'll not say that anymore. So, yeah. I did mean that, Kitty. Yes, I did mean that. Oh, what's going on here with the Haas of Nethlook? He was really tight on the wall there, and he's Nethlook or Gary just slipped past him. Who else is going on board? We're going on board with Mr. Bugos for a while. Oh, he's right up the. No, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. He's oh, he can. He's right up the gearbox of Keyboard Magnuson. Keyboard Magnuson, I think he must be struggling either on tyre wear. Of course, Hugos is on 3-lap fresh tyres. He must be struggling on tyre wear, or he may have some issue because a little bit of a twitch there from the McLaren. He's he seems to be a lot slower than normal. He normally would be. I wonder, did that little nudge from Vinny, which sent him into the wall, did it give Keyboard any damage? Because he's definitely not looking comfortable, for sure. And now Costa will be lining it up, as well as Motocrosser on the DRS.
I mean, just looking at the wing, it looks okay, but that's pretty hard to tell without actually having proper data, I suppose.
Keyboard Magnuson, 3-second time penalty, so I'm going to stick on board with this battle here. I would really want to do an onboard, but now I just feel afraid to do an onboard. So, well, here comes Motocrosser. He's got the DRS on Keyboard Magnuson. Oh, there's a big contact in the wall. Oh, and they're off. I need to score. They're all out. They're all out. Ferk and Costa and Motocrosser. Massive collision there. It was just a miscalculation on how much room they all need to give each other more than anything. Yeah. Early, my initial instincts is definitely a racing incident. I need to see that again, maybe see some onboards, but yeah, definitely 3 cars collected in that one issue, but somehow, remarkably, they've all got it up and running again. Yeah,
I think Costa gave Mr. Magnuson a little touch on the rear, which sent him in the wall. Oh, and that's Vinny in the wall.
Vinny in the background there.
Yeah, I think Costa gave Magnuson a little touch, and which caused him to lose control. Then he got into the wall, and then he just couldn't really stop the car. And then we got 3 more deaths. So
yeah, and Keyboard Magnuson the big loser there, because he's not only lost, he's lost 1, 2, 3. He's down 4 places in that one incident. Although I think they probably would have passed him anyway with the DRS. And Wimps getting passed by Bugos. Bugos on the charge, of course, and those fresh hards. So now he's got an 8-second gap to cut down from Matthias to get into the top 5. Silver, oh yeah, those guys are all pitting, most likely for a front wing change. So expect to see them switch to the medium tire.
Yeah, I think the mediums will be about fine now, and yeah, they're all in the mediums. Now that people are dying, my wimpy prediction is looking better than ever.
You know what, man? It actually is. In saying that, if he gets P7, that means you're wrong.
Oh, I suppose.
He
does have to.
Yeah.
We will see. He has to pit still, so.
Oh, so he does?
He does. It's on 17-lap old tires.
It's a good job someone here is paying attention. Well done, Milos.
I know.
But where is Smeltino? Smeltino out in the front. Oh, he's coming into the pit, so Smeltino is pitting and gives up his lead that he had, although it was never really for sure because it was this man and this man alone who has got the pole position in the wet qualifying and has led the race pretty much all the way, of course, except when Smeltino led it. but he was effectively the race leader, and I think it's pretty much accepted unless something really dramatic happens. He is going to get this race win. He's got good pace. His tires are 2 laps younger than Onion Barge. Onion Barge and Luigi, whose 2 main contenders behind them, are penalised with Onion Barge 3 second, Luigi 6 second time penalty. So Onion Barge has to close down the 2.5 second gap, pass him in Singapore, and then stretch over a 3 second gap.
Yeah, and now thinking of it, Hugo's could have a very good chance of a podium if he can get within 6 seconds of Luigi. He has at the moment no penalties.
You are right, Milos. As Larson passes Wimpy, as Wimpy just comes out of the pits. Oh, what's happening there? What's happening? What's good camera? Oh, and then the Wimpy able to defend it, but the Larson's coming back at him on the DRS, so Wimpy doesn't defend it. That may be a hindrance to Wimpy that he didn't defend that a little harder, because he's on significantly fresher tyres. Oh, is he going to get a move done here? This is going to be a hairy place to overtake if you're going to try it. He had a little look at it. Oh my goodness! Larson cuts back in on this racing line. I thought there was going to be a massive incident there. But yeah, Wimpy's, you can see the more grip Wimpy's got here, really nice and tight on the apex. But if he wants to get a move done, he needs to think about getting it done ASAP. And he gets it done. Oh, what's happened here? What's happened there? Larson just gave that place up, did he?
Yeah, he gave up 2 positions there.
Don't understand that, Mr. Milosh.
He might have just had enough, I suppose.
Had an off on a straight.
Honestly. I mean, it was in about braking zone. It's close enough.
Right.
Silver might be looking for a move on Wimpy now.
Yeah, definitely. But if Silver's smart, he'll not do it here. Don't do it. No, you're going to give Well, in saying that, even though you're going to give the DRS to Wimpy behind, it is reasonably easy to defend that corner because you just hug that front. Oh, it was Matthias. It looked like on my screen that he was going to about to spin. Nethruk is accumulating more penalties than I can dare to remember. And you can see here, Wimpy does have the DRS, but not close enough to make a pass, and not, well, I wouldn't say brave enough. He wasn't foolish enough to transcend it, because that would have been instant crash. So all going well so far for Mr. Wimpy. Well, I said that he's in P12. I don't know. I think you're P8. He's starting to look more.
Oh, Costa hit the wall.
Oh, Costa. Mr. Costa is. He's retired. Now, question. I know we have the SLR gods watching. Did I or did I not read somewhere that penalties may be issued to people who retire without any real good reason? Yes, he may have crashed. Front wing damage, yes, we've seen that. But his car was intact. His wheels were intact. He could have made it back round to the pits and continued it on. Is there a rule in SLR where they...
Oh, no.
Yes?
Hugo's going backwards.
Oh! You're right.
I think my another bold prediction of Hugo's P3 is also gone in shreds. Very sad. Even though he's smurfing.
Well, I may not be able to see the chat in about 10 seconds because I watch the chat on my phone and my battery's at 1%. So, probably going to end. But I don't know if someone can maybe confirm that on the chat. If that is a rule that the FIA will be looking down upon, or will be frowning upon, sorry, any incidences where someone just retires the car when there isn't real justifiable reason to do so. I think, in other words, anyone that rage quits. Is that something they're looking on? I think I've seen something along those lines.
I do believe that Mr. Bond did get 20 penalty points for retiring in Austria in Tier
Yes,
DOS.
I remember that. I remember that whenever it was up the end of the main street. Oh, Bugos, yeah, in the pits.
Shake my head.
SMH. Oh, no one really close to anyone really. So Silver sets himself the fastest lap, and he is in the top 10. So that will count for an extra point for him.
And you know who else is in the top 10? It's
Mr.
Mr.
Wimpy.
Wimps. Only 2 more positions to my bold prediction becomes reality.
Things are a bit quiet on track. I think it's a reasonable assessment.
Yeah, I think the only people that even remotely close is Motocross and Netlook.
That's exactly who I'm looking at.
So now I'm in a big dilemma, because I don't know if I should go get a bag of crisps, or should I not be munching away on stream?
Well, here is my advice and my opinion, Mr. Milosh. Okay?
I've heard Mr. Bob munching away on streams multiple times.
Well, you see, so I have been doing this for almost 2 seasons now, across multiple formats. And I'm not going to say I'm a professional, because I'm not. Far from it. Mr. Terror is the professional. However, I have gained a little bit of experience to doing it. Yes, I have been the victim, or would you say the victim? No, wouldn't be the one. I have been guilty, I think would be the correct way of putting it, of eating on stream. And it would have been like chocolate or something, and I did my best to disguise it. I even tried drinking tea on the stream. I still do have a drink, but I'm disguising it better. It basically doesn't come across very well. And I know that the gods, that would be Mr. Chief and the boys, don't like it either. However, because you're sitting in, you're helping out, you're not really calling it, I don't see the problem. As long as it's just not like all over the stream.
As long as just not me going. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Chomping away.
It's, to be honest, if I could, I would run and get something. Oh, Motocross is going for a move on. Well, that's actually pretty straightforward. Nethluke is not giving it up though, and he needs to give it up because he can't pass anymore now. Yeah. If I could, I would be out in my kitchen right now getting some snacks, munching away. But yeah, I think you should feel free to tear away there, Mr. Terror.
Yeah, I mean, I did arrive home today from a hard day of school, as always.
Hard day of education, yeah.
Hard day of education.
Who was at the back there?
Nethluke gone.
Nethluke has left us. He needs to. He needs to be careful. He doesn't get punished.
Yeah.
Mr. Bugos, Mr. Milosh, if you want to go get your aperitif, as we say in French, you can off you go. No one will know any different, because I am just blabbering away like an absolute madman.
Indeed. But as I was saying, I did come back home from a hard day of education, and I see a big bag of potatoes in the kitchen. I thought, this is epic.
Other crisp brands are available. Continue, yes.
Indeed. So I was very happy to see this massive, I think it was a 24 pack of crisps, and I was very happy by it.
No, but the question is, Milosh, what flavour?
Now this is the good part.
This is when it gets
I've got a big selection. So I've got cheese and onion.
Well, average.
My personal favorite, probably, or maybe more
What?
up there. Definitely not. Maybe not favorite. Definitely up. Definitely up. We've got salt and vinegar. Meh, person.
Meh.
We've got smoky bacon.
I like smoky bacon.
I do as well. Prawn cocktail.
I love prawn cocktail.
One of my personal favorites,
Oh
likewise.
yes, a man of culture, I can see.
And Worcester sauce.
Oh, Worcester
Also-
sauce.
One of my personal favorites. I did eat one of those actually about 30 minutes ago when I was playing Slay the Spire. A very intellectual game.
Yes, other games are available, of course.
Indeed.
Worcester sauce or Worcester sauce, whatever you call it. But I absolutely adore that flavor, and I cannot find it anywhere in the north. In the north, I can't find it anywhere in the north.
North.
You know what?
Just-
I'm just getting this because I haven't got my phone anywhere anymore. Because when you hear this, you want to hear something that's absolutely really rude. Mrs. Kitsune just walked straight into my broadcasting room, right? Just took my phone away. Just
Shaking
She
my
lifted
head.
my personal life device. She just lifted it and took it out of my room.
Disgusting behavior.
I have no way of keeping in contact with the chat. I have no way. Oh, Burgos!
Aw. Again.
Burgos
Mr. Burgos.
bottled it.
Shaking my head.
You see, that's why I was running on board, because I knew Burgos was going to bottle it.
Again.
Because anyone, yes, again, because anyone not in the know needs to know that Mr. Burgos has an issue clutching. He does so well, performs remarkably well, just can't finish. Just can't drive it home. Of course, he is gonna, get at me about how many races he's won and blah 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 blah. We've got a move up at the front. Oh no, sorry, it's Luigi coming into the pits. So Luigi, what's he gonna go for? Softs?
Yeah, that should be raceable from this point on. Yeah, Luigi looks like he's going for the fastest lap. He is going to get jumped by Verk, however. Yeah, but will he get Verk? I think it's reasonably likely. Oh, he's also down to Gary. Yeah.
Down to Gary.
Gary.
Gareth.
And Matthias.
I'm a fan.
So- Yeah, he's lost a bunch of position. I think he might have wing damage, maybe. Because
Yeah,
I
I've seen
originally
that.
assumed that he did it to get the fastest lap because he had a big enough gap. But he's after losing 3 positions, so I don't think he just did it for the sake of it.
Yeah, I think I seen the front wing going on, although I was looking at the deltas more than anything when he was in the pit. So, yeah, he's going for this extra point, I think, more than anything. And
Yeah.
to reclaim positions, of course. What were we talking about? Yeah, I was saying about how Kitty just rudely walked in and took my life device, my phone. Just walked in, just lifted it off the table.
Honestly.
I
I mean, it's
mean-
almost as essential as life support.
Almost as essential as the air we breathe.
Honestly.
As Hugo passes Larson. Oh, Mr. Chief is right, there's the hiccups. But yeah, what was I going to say there? Yeah, I can almost detect, I can just feel it, that Mr. Chief is probably cracking up that we are talking about the flavour of crisps than focusing on the action.
I mean, there's a big lack of action at the moment.
But that's what I was going to say. The problem is action.
Shake it.
You see, I suppose, Milos, that's one of the kind of... It's a double-edged sword with Singapore, because to driving on it is just... I love it. It's the most fantastic track ever for me. I just love it. It's a real challenge. Over a 50% race, even a 100% race, maintain that composure, to maintain the rhythm, the technique, every single lap without dropping too much pace. It's really engaging. But I guess for a viewer and for racing, as you know, in the pure form of actual racing, wheel to wheel, it's a little bit flat. You usually get some instance at the race starts, maybe after the pits, sometimes at the very end, like most Formula 1 races, but generally it's just guys basically trying to stay alive, more or less, in Singapore. Gonna run on board with Contender. Oh, he has returned from the depths of the house with my life
hello.
device.
Okay.
Happy days. What has she done? She has charged my phone from 1% to 5%.
Epic.
I can now check on the chat to see if I'm getting an absolute rollicking. I made sure to say the R version.
So
Yes.
I do believe I am finally back.
You're back? Where?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you cut out mid-sentence for me, and then I reconnected, and now Mr. Bob is alive again.
Oh, right. Okay. So I was saying Kitty has returned from the depths of... what is that? Stopped. Stream stopped. Well, there we are. From the depths of our house with my live device. She's charged it up to about 5%, and I can see the chat. Mr. Chief now does confirm my suspicions. I was saying earlier, whenever we seen Costa retire, that I remember reading somewhere, because I do my brief, I keep forgetting it, but I do remember reading somewhere that the FIA will be looking down on people who leave the session for no real valid reason. And Mr. Chief has confirmed that there are 5 penalty points get awarded for disconnecting from the session without a valid reason. So, on that basis, it pretty much confirms more or less what I was saying. If you rage quit, I mean, you don't have a valid reason other than you just rage quit. So, I think that's something people should, be mindful of. If they are thinking about rage quitting, they're going to get themselves a penalty, and especially an SLR, which I think is fair. I mean, because people who just retire for no reason, it can have negative repercussions to the other drivers, which is unfair. Just because someone rages and can't hack it anymore, it shouldn't disadvantage everyone else. My feeling on it anyway. So, of course, the guys will take each case, as I said before, on face value and look at them with a non-bias. I can't speak. I just can't speak anymore.
Just pretend you can. That's always works.
Mr. Chief, in reference back to the eating on stream, Mr. Chief says you can suck and slurp, but never crunch.
Indeed.
Which I think applies to many things in life.
It does. It really does. If you take it out of context, it could really be anything.
There are a lot of things that you just do not want someone to bite down on. You do not want to.
Yeah.
In fact, if you hear a crunch,
Oh, and what an overtake! Oh, sorry, I think my microphone was muted for the past hour.
Oh, here he is.
You did not hear me the
Here
entire
he
time.
is. Here he is, Milosh. He's a bit late. Comes to the party a bit late when it's nearly over.
I was here the entire time.
Mr. Milosh steps in and does a fantastic job. Bance, I think you just give up your seat beside me.
Oh man.
See, the alternative is the epic plot twist of me retiring into SRL and Brennan Bond retiring his commentating seat. The plot twist no one has foreseen.
Oh, epic.
Indeed.
Mr. Chief, or not Mr. Chief, Mr. Bance.
Uh-huh.
If I say a flavour of crisps to you, I want to hear your opinion.
Okay.
No, I hope I said it correctly because there's many ways of saying it.
Worcester sauce.
Worcester sauce or Worcester sauce?
One of the two.
One of the things. Stop typing it in. You're good.
I
You
need
are.
to look. What was this? I have no idea.
Disappointed.
Never tried it. So
Disappointed.
You haven't lived, Mr. Bance.
Well, I didn't need you to tell me that.
In fact, I must get a bag of Worcester sauce crisps right now. I've been drooling for about 10 laps. Not gonna lie.
Onion Barge is right up the chuff. I think I can say that. Of Contender, but so is the Haas of Vindman. So Vin has been what?
I'll leave you guys to it. Have fun. Bye bye.
Right, Chief, or out, Bance.
Yeah, I'm not that slow, okay?
Sorry, what?
I'm not that slow, okay?
All right, yeah, I am no mentally.
Alright, see
Let's sake my mind. I am really suffering here from mental fatigue. My brain is on. I think my brain is operating about the same speed as Chief races. But Yeah, I think Vinny got either lapped or he's trying to unlap, or he's unlapping himself. I'm not sure, but he's got a fresh set of soft. Tell you what, he's actually just produced a fresh set of soft, and he's come out behind these guys. So this is going to be a real tricky one because Contender's obviously going to get the race win, provided nothing happens to him. Because even if Onion passes him on track, which he probably will try and do, he's got a time penalty of 3 seconds. So no. But Vinny's in this mix, and Vinny will have to just go slow to avoid this. So this could be potentially hasty as Onion Bars takes a pass to get the race win. But does Contender know he has got a penalty? That is the question. Contender, of course, on 21 lap old tires. Contender, Onion Bars, sorry, 21 lap old tires. Excuse me.
So, Mr. Bob.
Yes?
I've come to conclusion that I can't decide what crypt flavor I want, so I've got prawn cocktail,
You're mixing them.
bacon, and Worcestershire
Oh,
sauce.
I absolute love meatloaf. I used to do that. When you can't make your mind up, you just empty all 3 or 4 bags into one bowl, mix them around, and you have like it's a big surprise. You don't
Surprise box.
You never know what you're gonna get.
So I'm gonna allow one big crunch.
Oh, that will be you're gonna get your P45.
Honest.
You're gonna be made redundant. But Onion Barge comes across the line. He does pass Contender, but he will not get the race win. Contender gets the on track. Contender does, of course, get his race win as we predicted. But you were wrong, Mr. Milosh. On 2 parts. Meltino doesn't get the 3rd place. And Wimpy doesn't get P8, although that may change with the penalties, but we're going to see. Let's run on board Luigi. I really want to do it on board Luigi crossing the line now. How far back is Verk? Verk's going to jump him. Verk gets the P4. Luigi drops down to P6. Matthias gets P5. Does Gary even get the jump on him? No, Gary P7. Silver crosses the line after disconnecting. Comes back to get P8. P9 for Mr. Bugos. But them hiccups are hitting me hard now. Total Wizard says it's F1, not Bake Off.
The great crisp break off.
Commentators, there's a race going on. Is there? I just seen
There is.
cars following each other more than anything. I didn't see much racing going on.
And I thought we're just having a chat.
Yes. Can we not have a chat? Furious passes crosses the line in P12 and Larson will eventually cross in P13. So, Mr. Milosh, you didn't get P8 for Wimpy and you didn't get the correct order, but because Smeltino gets P3, that's actually a very good result from Smeltino. But who? I'm going to put you on the spot while you're mid-crunch. Whom do you
See,
think?
I'm mid a very sad crunch because my Worcester sauce crisp tastes like their originals. They've got no taste. I'm so sad.
Really bland.
Yeah, they're actually no taste, just salt, and I'm really sad.
We need to
However,
think- yes.
driver of the day.
Who do you think is the driver of the day?
No. See, I am kind of impressed by Hugo's by the fact he has binned it 3 times and still somehow managed to come P9.
Yeah.
It is somewhat impressive. However, I don't think it deserves driver of the day for bottling it multiple times. And a contender for on a driving cleanly, I suppose, throughout the whole stint.
Well, do you know what? If you look up at the order, there's Burke from P12 up to P4.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like normally giving it to the person that gets pole position and the race win, who just commands it, because, well, it can be a little bit boring at sometimes for the guys just sitting leading the race. Is even some of the guys who have done it agree that it does get a bit boring. However, Contender did smash qualifying in the wet. He did pretty much lead the race all the way, and he is, by looking down the grid, the only guy who didn't get a penalty.
Right?
So with that come out of this, with that being said, for me, I would give it to Contender. Just for a commanding qualifying, a commanding race. He coped with the early pressure. He then coped with that pressure at the very end with those old tires, and he didn't get himself a time penalty, as we have seen is very easy to do in Singapore.
Right.
I think he's the only one that did it. So qualifying, pole position, race win, clean race. For me, driver of the day.
Yeah, I could probably go with. Yeah, I think Verg from P12 to P4 and Smeltino coming from to a podium, starting on the hards to the mediums. So
Yes, an honourable mention to them chaps. Verk and Smeltino, definitely honourable mention. If it wasn't for Contender just doing such a fantastic job, then it would have been a real split between those two guys. But well done to everyone for their racing. There will be a few things for the FIA to look into, of course. But that is the race. Hopefully, I will have the boys in the background working on the standings, and I should be able to get you the updated standings. I think it's pretty much Onion Bar just running away with it, even though he did only get the P2. He's saying circle time through the interviews. I'm very tired, but we need to see if someone wants. We have Luigi and Silver in chat. Now, normally if we get someone in the gentleman's lounge, it means they want it. We're going to bring the boys in, and we'll bring them in their order. Luigi finished higher. So Luigi, if you're listening, you're coming in. Mr. Luigi has joined the stream.
Hello.
Bonsoir.
Hello there.
Bonsoir.
Mr. Luigi, how did that go for you, man?
Horrible, man. Garbage. Really
Tell us-
bad race.
You seemed to have, you were doing really great, at the very beginning.
I mean, yeah, strategy really didn't work out like we thought it would. I obviously had the pace on these guys. They were slowing me down at the start,
Yeah.
and my tire wear was really fine as well. So I was doing really good, and then I don't know. I heard they came back like after their pit stops mid traffic, so I was gaining on them. So my engineer said to stay out, which I did, and until he said pit. And I don't know, man. When I came out, I was 4 seconds behind, and I ruined it out of the pit exit, and because I was mad, and I got front wing damage, and I tried to keep up with them as much as I could, but at some point I just couldn't do it anymore. So I pit again and tried to get the fastest lap, and got a lot of penalties as well for cutting corners, and yeah, really, really bad race, man. It could have been a good one, but kind of ruined it.
Yeah, I was actually running on board with you for a good part of the first stint. You'll see it on the stream, and I was talking about you probably want to have a point to prove after getting the race win taken away from you from Italy, that you'll want to do it on track. It was good for us watching because that little bit of history that's been made already between you and Onion Barge. You were falling behind them, and we didn't know what was going to happen, but it was very clear to see on the stream that you definitely had the pace on them, on the guys, and that you were kind of being hindered by just where you were racing, basically Singapore. It's so difficult to overtake. Yeah, so we were definitely, me and Milos were saying it's going to be Contender, Luigi, and and Onion Barge up there. One of those three is going to get that race win. But then, man, I just seen the penalties coming in. 3 seconds for Luigi, then another 3 seconds, and I was like, oh no, he's got 6 seconds of penalties. And because I knew that Contender and Onion Barge didn't have any at that point, it was kind of you kind of knew that you weren't going to get it then. And then, like you said, you kind of drifted back and wasn't sure what happened.
Yeah, that's the front wing damage.
Yeah, because whenever you came in for the softs, did you get a front wing change? Because there was quite a delayed.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, it's a real shame, man, because I have said that you've got pace. You've definitely got pace in these races, and it's really looking, really, I'm really looking forward to seeing you race with Onion and Contender, and I would like to see Aaron on it as well, because you guys are all so evenly matched. Some tracks, one guy's faster than the other. It's just unfortunate that it is Singapore, because it is difficult to overtake. Yeah, man, it's just unfortunate that you got caught up in those incidents, and then, like you said, your strategy didn't work out.
Yeah, well, it happens, I think overall for the race that it was, I I put on quite a good show at the end. I mean, I don't know if you saw. I think I made the best of it,
Yeah,
considering what happened.
yeah,
I think I finished with like 12 seconds of penalty.
yeah. But I mean, as I was saying just before I brought you in, pretty much everyone got penalties, multiple penalties, except Contender. He was the only guy that didn't get it. I don't know if you've seen on the track further up, Onion Bars, but did get the move done on Contender on the last lap to get the
Uh,
on track race win, but of course he didn't get it because of the penalties.
well, very good job to both of them. Anyway.
Yeah, don't be too disheartened, man. I mean, everyone gets these races. I mean, just come back stronger the next time.
Yeah. Well, no, it's all good. I'm not worried. Anyway, I'm not really fighting for the title. I joined in Italy, so if
Yeah,
if I'm
but
gonna be fighting for the title, it's gonna be next season.
well, it's good to see. Like I said before, I want to keep laboring the point, but it's good to see guys like yourself are bringing that pace to the tier two. To stop the guys like Onion just running away with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing more races from you, man.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm excited to fight in the front with these guys.
Well, good job, man. Unfortunate just for today, but like I said, you've always next week for hopefully to claim something back because you've got
Yeah.
the pace on them. But thanks, Luigi, for joining us for the interview. I'm gonna just cut it
My
short because we're
pleasure.
pressed for time, man. Thank you very much.
All good. Bye bye.
Thanks, man. Silver, we're gonna bring Silver in.
Yes.
Mr. Silver,
Hello there.
Hello.
how did that race go for you?
I think it was the most disappointing and frustrating race this season. I started pretty good. I just followed the group in front of me, so nothing really special happened there. But then Vinny was struggling, I think. So I went to the inside of him, and he just turned in to me, but there was a wall on the inside of me, so I clipped the wall and had major wing damage. So I had to pit, put it on mediums. I passed a few guys, but yeah, after a while, I had to pit again. Um, I disconnected twice as well, so that didn't help me either.
Yeah, we did
I
see
still
that. Yeah.
finished 8th, so I'm still happy. But yeah, I think I could have finished a lot more above.
Yeah, if you didn't have those incidents, Silver, and of course the disconnection, I'll cut off there. Sorry, if you didn't have those incidents and the disconnection, yeah, you would have been definitely up higher.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. I also had a penalty. I think I had only 3 warnings, and one of them was with the incident with Vinny. So, but I don't think it will have done anything at the end. So.
Well, I mean, you did recover well from those incidents, and you still finished, I think, in the points. So, I mean, well done, man. As I'm saying, I'm hearing in the background someone saying "merci beaucoup." So, merci beaucoup for the interview, Mr. Silver.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna try and run through these. Thanks, man.
See ya.
I know rightly everyone's just joining just for badness because they want to really annoy Kitty. But I have people to interview, so I'll have to do them. Mr. Onion Barge is in the chat. Mr. Minos, can you do an interview or one or two? Because I have to try and get the standings on the stream on the screen.
I suppose I could.
All right, I'll bring in Mr. In.
Did you hire someone from Ferrari?
We did.
Yes, we have insider knowledge, Mr. Onion.
We do.
Hello.
Hello.
We just
How are you?
Not too bad.
We'll not keep
Oh.
we'll not keep you too long, Onion, so you can get back to your chat there. But we just
Yeah.
want to take you to your view on how the race went for you, Mr. Minos.
Yeah, it was a race of mistakes, to be honest. Contender did really well. He deserved it. messed up qualifying, and then I should have started on softs because the mediums are overheat more for me than softs for some reason. But I decided to trust the game, and the mediums just kept overheating. Then I tried to do the undercut, but got stuck in traffic. If I had 1 second more, I would have been out of that traffic. Now it's just too far behind, so I couldn't catch up. So
yeah, I think you put it relatively early compared to other guys. I think you put lap 9.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
No.
majority put it lap 11 or 12. Even.
Yeah. But like I said, if I had about 1 more second, I would have been out ahead of Wimpy, but it is what it is. Fine margins. But I'll take TP too.
Yeah, it was a good drive from you as well. Yeah, unlucky with the penalty that you got.
That was my fault. That was my fault. Is what it is.
I mean, I
I'll take
suppose
PT.
as the Ferrari drivers we were talking about a few minutes ago, these things may happen.
Yeah.
But
Better. It's just about
sure.
the long game now with the championship, so just take it race by race.
Yeah, I'm sure one race with unfortunates won't mess up the championship because we've been doing a fantastic job overall for the whole season, really.
Yeah, so just try to keep it safe. Do a Lewis Hamilton, just not take any risk, really.
Yeah, I can inform you, Onion, right now because I have the standings on screen. That you have, I don't know, would you say I wouldn't say a healthy margin. You're still under threat, but you are leading by 73 points. You have 265 points, and your closest rival is Silver on 192. So you do have a little bit of a buffer there, a little bit of a cushion if you do have maybe some incidents in the upcoming races, but you're still on course, man, for that title.
Yeah, just that's still not big enough. When it's mathematically impossible, then I can relax. But
yeah,
one race at a time.
Exactly, man. Because the Silver has proven, he can win races as well. He's a multiple race winner this season, and multiple podium winner as well. So, like you said, it's not a comfortable lead just yet, but you're certainly going about the right way of doing it, man.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for the interview. I need to go.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Thanks for joining us. Pleasure.
All right.
We have, I will say, the final interview, which I know Mrs. Kitsune will be delighted because she wants me to watch some program with her. Smelt is saying, where is he on the standings? Hang on, we'll get Contender in. And where is Smelt actually? Hang on, before I do, where is Smelt? Where is Smeltino on the standings?
He's not present on the standing.
That's a good point. Why is Smeltino?
Does Smeltino have a full-time seat? I think he does.
So
I think somebody did an oopsie then.
Someone has done a big whoops. He is exactly right because Mr. Smeltino has been racing consistently, and he is being ignored, which is a shame.
No, actually, yeah. I'm looking at the roles on the Discord server. Mr. Smeltino is a reserve. So his results don't show up on the standings, but they are secretly recorded in the hidden database, I suppose, essentially.
There you are, Mr. Smeltino. We are an interactive stream. Post and you shall get a reply. You are not on the standings, as Mr. Milos has said, because you are a reserve. But there is a reserve standings, which is kind of kept top secret. And I think they actually reveal that at the end of the season, who is actually the champion reserve. So, keep banging in those results, even if you're reserves. That's the main thing. But yeah, I want to get the standings off screen, which is not working. Epic. There we go. And we'll get the race winner in, Mr. Contender, and then we will wrap this up. Mr. Contender.
Oh. Hello.
I don't know if you were expecting me.
But, Onion wasn't.
Onion wasn't, no. But see, we like to do that, Contender. We like to just kind of just drag you in when you don't expect it.
Yeah. I was speaking to Luigi.
But yeah, I had to bring you in, man, because you are our race winner, and also
finally, yes, I'm so happy.
Well, before you tell us that, well, actually, no, go ahead. Tell us how your race unfolded and how did you do that race win?
I got 2 warnings in the first 3 laps.
Ooh,
So at that point, I was like,
tense.
focus,
Yeah.
focus. And my arm was killing me at some point because I raced in the controller. And I was so try harding because Onion was like always in 2 seconds behind me. And my arm was killing me. And I think 10 laps to go, I got a tiny front wing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow
Yes,
front. I
yes,
think yellow.
yes.
Yeah, and at that point, I was starting to lose time and time and time and time. Onion did a great move at the last
Yeah,
lap.
we got it on stream.
Amazing move. But I think I didn't go for the move again because I knew I didn't have penalties. So yeah, I'm very happy because my pace was really good.
So did you know that Onion and Barge had a 3 second time penalty?
I asked the engineer 4 laps to go. I think I didn't know before that.
Yes. Yeah, because I
I
was.
didn't want to know. I didn't want to know because I didn't want to rely on that.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Um, I said it on the stream whenever this battle was starting to unfold near the end. I was saying, I wonder, does Contender know that Onion does have a 3 second time penalty? But whenever he did the move on you, we could see that you didn't really fight him too much. So
Yeah,
that's when we kind of knew that, yeah, you did
I
know.
think yeah, three or 4 laps to go before I asked if she had the penalty or not.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
knew it would be really hard. Sorry. I knew it would be really hard because I knew at some point it's a possibility that I get a penalty too. It's
oh,
really
yes.
easy.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah,
And then, of course, if you had have pushed and got a penalty, then Contender's race win would have counted, and you would have lost it. So
yeah,
it was smart driving by you. Well, what we can tell you, Contender, is that we have looked down the list of drivers um, for today's race, and there
okay.
were a few drivers who we would have given the driver of the day to. One of them was Smeltino
Yeah,
from
he did amazing. Yeah.
yeah
From
from
where did he start?
P8.
P8
Oh,
to
amazing.
the other guy was Verk, who started P14, got
Ooh,
himself up to P7, I think.
amazing.
But we didn't give them the driver of the day because we feel, well, I feel, and I think Milos agrees, that the driver of the day is Mr. Cootender.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Because you got pole position in a pretty tricky qualifying wet
Yeah, it
qualifying.
was.
You led the field away, you held on to your race win, you didn't get any penalties, and you coped with an awful lot of pressure throughout the race.
I mean, I was sweating
Yeah, so for us, man,
so
we don't, as you know,
hard.
you've been in a few races already with us. You know, we generally don't give it to the guy who just dominates the race win. We like
Yeah.
to look for someone that puts an outstanding performance, and Smeltino and Verk did do an outstanding performance, but they did get themselves a lot of penalties. So because of that,
Yeah.
you did a great job in qualifying, a great job in the race, and you did it cleanly as well. And for that, it's only us, you know, me and Milos, but we give you the driver of the day, the commentator's driver of the day.
Thank you.
Look,
I really appreciate it.
congratulations, my man, and
Yeah.
hopefully this is a run of luck, a run of race wins for you in the coming races. Because
I hope so.
yeah,
I hope so.
but thanks for joining us, Contender, on the interview, and
Thank you.
well done on your race win, my man.
Thank you.
Good job, my man. So that is the interviews done, and I know Kitty will be saying delighted. Although before I end, I was asked a question on the stream. And the question I was asked on the stream was by Mr. Jensen. And he asked me, what do I think about the circle? Well, now, let me think now. The circle. It's actually quite a good program. I don't normally watch reality programs, but this one's really good. Kitty said to me one day, oh, do you want to watch this with me? I don't know what it was, but I always say no to her. So I says, all right, then I'll watch this one. So I watched that one. And you know what? It's actually really good. I can just hear Kitty just about to storm in here and just shout all over the stream. You could probably hear the frustration in her voice about Mr. Jensen had caused it. But yeah, I really do enjoy the circle. It's a good crack. I told her I can't really watch much circle tonight because I've got my stream to do. I've got my commentating, and that does take up quite a bit of my time. And then also because I was sitting up to midnight last night. Oh, in fact, I was after. I think it was 30 minutes past midnight. In fact, you know that. Watching the circle with her just to keep her happy. You know, doing my best, doing my bit to maintain our relationship. Because I did that, it made me very tired. You see, that's why I have been a bit. Do you hear that?
I don't think Kitsune's very happy about the.
You what? Sorry, Milosh?
I think Kitsune seems very happy with the moaning in the background.
Yeah, I heard that as well. I think she's delighted. I think she's actually saying keep talking. Oh, I keep talking. So anyway, yeah. So I had to stay up till like midnight, watching the circle with her. But that made me really tired, as everyone could see. So I stayed up and made that sacrifice, and it has had a negative impact on today's stream because I have been. I think it's fair to say below par. Would you agree, Milos? I've been a bit below par. I haven't been my excitable self, although I never really am anyway. But still, I've been a bit below par, and that was because I am fatigued. Because I stayed up very late watching the circle with Kitty, and then I had to get up very early in the morning. I only got 5.5 hours sleep. Now I have, anyone that doesn't know me, I have a very physically demanding job, and I need all the sleep that I can get. So therefore, I am very tired at the moment. So I think, I might just finish the stream and just go to bed. Because I just don't know if I have any time to fit the circle in. It's almost, 9 o'clock?
It's bedtime for Mr. Bob.
I think
the old age is kicking in.
It's kicking in. 34 and I'm getting dementia already. But I don't think that we have much more to talk about now. So I think we may just end the stream and put Kitty out of her misery. Unless anyone has any other questions. I mean, I am up for any more questions. I mean, I guess really this is just a test to see how long Kitty's going to take before she actually storms in and cuts me off. Pretty much.
Before she just unplugs the internet.
She says she's going to watch it without me.
Awful unlucky.
Oh, well, just before we're about to go, Chief says he wants to have a few words. So we'll wait. We'll give him a couple of seconds, and if he doesn't join, we're going to sign off.
See, I'm going to give him the crunch of my prawn cocktail chip until he comes. So I think it's taking too long.
Yeah, he's not coming. So with that, we're going to speak after. We're going to end the stream, and thank everyone for joining us. Tomorrow is Formula 2. Formula 2 is back indeed. After last week's epic EGL tournament, which we saw SLR take the title off SRL, and Mr. Billy Thompson, or Master Billy Thompson, taking the individual driver. Formula 2 is back in action tomorrow. It's been a while, so I've actually forgotten what track it is. Hopefully, I should make it.
There's a Temple of Speed.
A Temple of Speed happening, yes.
Monza.
Oh, yes. It's Monza.
Yeah.
So tomorrow is Monza in the Formula 2. All the familiar faces will be back. It should be myself and Milosh once again. That is if I'm back in time. I should be back in time. Should be able to set it up. And then Saturday is the Tier 1 race with Mr. Terror and Thimo covering that. I think I think we may not have Thimo. I'm not sure. I think he may be busy, but regardless, it's going to be a quality stream nonetheless whenever Mr. Chief, I don't know why I call everyone Mr. Chief, Mr. Terror is under control. And then on Sunday, same old routine, Sunday is the 2SRL race. I don't know what that is either. Is it Singapore?
It is.
Yes! Thank you very much. Thank you, Jesus. There is a God. It'll be Singapore, where I'm going to get a chance to go around the track. So yeah, join in for this for that. And of course, the real Formula One at the weekend, Suzuka, the greatest Formula One track on earth. That is
Before the super typhoon ruins our days.
That is if it doesn't get typhooned off. See what's Chief saying? Sing it. I don't know what you want to sing. Yeah, I better just call it quits. But yeah, tune in anyway tomorrow for Formula 2, Saturday for Formula Tier 1, and Sunday for 2 SRL Tier 2. With that being said, Mr. Milos, is there anything you would like to say to end the stream?
I don't know. Maybe we should tell Mr. Kitsune to stop yelling.
I don't know. She's actually I can actually tell you, she's walked right to my door and she's literally doing the baboon effect. What baboons do? See, let me tell you this. Here's a bit of a nature, right? What baboon?
Stop that stream now.
Excuse me, this is a professional stream. Get your hand off my mouse or you're going to get clapped. See, that's how you...
In what way, though, is a good question.
Anyway, what baboons do is whenever a baboon wants to get rid of the other male,
right?
They don't fight. The other male just sits and stares. What's that noise, Katie?
They're all calling.
Who?
So they just like harass each other essentially.
Right, like
it's kind of non-verbal harassment, just no contact harassment.
So
low key.
The phone is the secret. Oh, I can't say that. I have to go. Right, we're gonna call this an end. What are you doing to me? This is a professional stream.
Shaking and crying right now.
Yeah, so am I. What's going on there? Right, do you know what? It's all crumbling here. We better end this. We're coming up on 2 hours, and Mr. Milos is probably foaming at the mouth trying to eat those crisps. So, tune in tomorrow for Formula 2, and with that, we are gonna sign off. Au revoir. Oh, and I'll just get in what Bance wanted to get in. Extreme.